Alright, we've made it a very long way these last couple weeks. We're on our, you can either call it our second to last or our very last game of round 2 or of round 1, because they're happening at the same time. There's a Bedrock game going right now as well. This is our last Java game. I'm glad I'm here because this is an actual, this is the first Java game I've gotten to do. This is going to be, I'm sad because it's Soup Kitchen and Omelet Warriors, and yet we're not playing on the map food in any of these games. But we are locked in. We're going to get going here. Last Java game. We do have a private game started, so I'm just going to hop right in there. Let me pause up real quick. No private game code stealing. I'll also turn my shaders off so no one gets mad at me. That's a good idea. No resource packs, no shaders. Man, I haven't streamed Java in a long time. Alright. Okay, so we have two teams, like I said. This is Soup Kitchen and it is Omelet Warriors. A lot of names I'm actually familiar with, which I'm excited about. Now, I do know more Java than Bedrock, but on the side of Soup Kitchen, we have I have no idea how to pronounce his name, Daan, Fkyyy, but I know that person. Pleasedharch is Noodles. Everyone knows Noodles. A couple of people whose names I think I've also seen, which I'm hyped about. You can see in the description all the names. Same thing with Omelet Warriors. I have seen cruvex. I remember cruvex is someone who used to be a SkyWars gamer, and we'd have some pretty good fights in SkyWars back in the day. cruvex was really hard to fight because they'd always run the. I'm pretty sure they'd always run Scout, and they were really good at PvPing with the speed, which was kind of a pain. I'm really terrible at fighting people with speed because my aim's not that good. It's like a weakness. Alright, we have 8 out of 8. Hop back over here. Someone tell me if there's no sound, if there's no game sound. I think there should be. But my OBS with Java is a little weird. Yeah, Noodles, Loki, get out of my stream. You're playing the game. Fiction Whisperer has a point there. There's a Bedrock stream. Go sit in the Bedrock stream. There should be a Bedrock stream anyway. Let me see if I can try something real quick. I love being on a version with actual clients. Some people to still join light blue. The stream will be delayed. That's how the stream goes. If you just mean like there is a delay, there has to be a delay. Otherwise, people will just, people could theoretically watch the streams to gain an advantage in their game. I have one person saying there's technical issues. If it's like the audio delayed relative to, like the audio's playing later than the video or something, then let me know about that. But I don't think that should be the case. Why did I steal your Juanito? That's not cool. I really wish I had any idea what you were talking about, but I have no idea. I do apologize, though. I miss when you could actually hit the note blocks on the notes, but maybe I'm old, or maybe there's some reason why. Maybe I'm a spectator? I don't know why you can't do that anymore. So this is just a warm-up, right, guys? I've never actually seen Noodle's team play before. I imagine they're pretty good because they've been around competitive for a pretty long time, and the server as a whole. And normally anyone who's that involved in the community, you know, you don't really get involved with the game's community if you're not good at the actual game, most of the time. But I am curious. It'll be interesting because this team they're playing Omelet Warriors is very solid. Because like I said, I've seen yblood before. I've seen cruvex before. I've seen, like, again, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Dan, D-A-A-N. I've seen that person before. And they're actually, you can see two of them are helpers. Dan's a helper and Tijmen is a helper as well. Tijmen, I don't know how to pronounce the Dutch names. You've been around Dutch people. If you've been around Java for a long time, you know how big the Dutch community is. I've talked with so many Dutch people, I should know how to pronounce their names, but I don't even know how to pronounce English names properly. Now we're going in 30 seconds. First map I actually don't remember, so we're going to see together. We are on Palace. Alright, Palace is a little more interesting on Java than Bedrock, I think, because the mid ends up being a lot more competitive, especially at the beginning, because people don't really leave, right? It's a lot harder to force someone out of mid, you know, your hits come a lot slower. Over here, light blue is Omelet Warriors. You can see this is jxhnwick. jxhnwick moving real quick to mid. cruvex right behind. Did it get voted to half? We might restart if it's not supposed to be half health. We'll see. It's a little fight there. Timon just running straight back. I'm not sure if Soup Kitchen thinks we're playing or not. If they did think we're playing, this would not be a good start. But it looks like we're going to restart. Yeah, Java's meant to be normal health, so we are going to reset. Unfortunate. Say it one time, you'll say it 1,000 times, right? We do wish that the private game creator could just select the voting options, but oh, the woes of development time. Got to see the map, see kind of what's going on. I will say, even from it being half health and not working, I think I would say that Omelet Warriors have a better initial rush to mid. That's really the only thing you can gather from that game. Noodles, if cruvex was right, they said that it's in the same place that normal is in a regular game, like they get switched up. That would be kind of upsetting. I don't know why that would be though. It doesn't really make sense why it would be that way. Very strange. Take 2 more seconds, get another private game going. Sure they have some good cube that I can open. This will not be a duplicate item. 100%. Oh yeah, that might be the worst thing I've ever gotten from an Uber cubelet. Except for when I got it the first time, because it's a duplicate. Alright, new private game. I'm going to pause real quick. And then I'm just going to kill my scoreboard. Alright. Still 0-0. No game that last time, but we're going to have to do a little bit of a reset here. Hopefully everyone gets in quick. Oh, now there are two noodles. Now oh no, it's not. I'm just reading badly. It's noodles and abandoned pie. Noodle says I can't bridge. Well, you're playing an EggWars game, so hopefully you can bridge. Alright, we're going quick. We got 8 out of 8 already. This is beautiful. Now let's get our game started. I want to watch some Java gameplay. Yes, sir. I appreciate Tatsu clearing up the voting stuff. You know, nothing you can really do about it. Stream should be working. I'm here. Hopefully you can hear me. YouTube's weird though. Strange application. Alright, game 1, getting started for real. And we're going to vote overpowered, no free perk, normal health. Look at that. There are 14 votes. 11 votes for normal. I'm surprised that most votes weren't for normal health, because that was what the problem was beforehand. Okay, here's Soup Kitchen. You see no kits. They're all going to go in immediately. It doesn't matter as much in Java and Bedrock because it takes a while to bridge anyway. But you can see a similar thing, right? Where there's a bridge kit on the side of Omelet Warriors, and as a result, jxhnwick and their teammates with gear behind them are already at mid. Not that much of an advantage, but if they wanted to, they can probably get to these diamonds first, although it's close. They do, and then just whip around and get back to your base. That's a big advantage off the start if they're able to get back, and it looks like they will. I don't know, yblood's gonna have a fight here. yblood's win that fight in the initial with just crit spam. Pretty close overall though. Nice little combo there. Gonna get double teamed on though. Time's probably reasonably low, but especially on Java, you can't get a kill quick enough with a wood sword to really end that fight. It is a 1v1 again. There's a sword disadvantage though, because Kevin over here has a stone sword. I doubt, this is Noodles, this is Pleasedharch, I doubt any of them really want to rush yet. It's going to be Obsidian. You're not really going to do anything with the rush here except try to be annoying. Can't be certain though. Pleasedharch gets a couple hits, tries to get someone off, maybe going to get just tapped in the back by cruvex before they run back with whatever gear they have. Another thing you'll see about Java versus Bedrock is people will hit with blocks instead of swords because the cooldown is shorter. You can get some nasty knockback with blocks if you're good at it. It's tough though, because obviously there's still a cooldown, but it's a different cooldown than with the sword. A couple people, I was hoping we might see a rush to the egg, but it's not going to happen immediately. Now it looks like some obby, I was going to say misplaced, but there's a bunch of extra obby. It looks like they just like bought double the obby that they needed. But you're going to see obby on both sides. I'm sure that there is obby on the side of Omelet Warriors as well. There is. Just make it so I can see the whole map. Alright. More fighting going down on mid. Cruvex is going to be the one to watch it because they have an iron sword. They got the mostly iron armor. Chain helmet doesn't matter as long as it doesn't break. Timon's running away. Good little combo there. Nice strafes. Combo right back though, although those hits from nathqlie weren't fully charged. See, Kevin gets a kill and Kevin goes down to cruvex. I do want to find where cruvex is because it's probably going to be the big thing right here. With only having an iron sword, I doubt cruvex has any crazy pick. They definitely have a diamond pick, but probably just the regular one. See if they get blocked in with obby. And they do. Yeah, this is funny because they're just going to sit here. They're not going to die in time. Get the egg. Well played. Doesn't even have to block it all the way because of the iron armor. Especially on Java. You're just going to live for too long. And now they're gonna go for kills. Like cruvex, you live for so long against stone swords with this gear that you just want to try to crit people out. Pleasedharch gets gear. But then at the same time you have nathqlie coming in with iron armor again. cruvex tries to get Kevin, I was gonna see off the edge, I need to get him off. One day. TijmenDeEngeMan's probably gonna be the next target because they are also not geared up. This is interesting. Pleasedharch and nathqlie both, I'm seeing no diamond swords, which I'm kind of shocked about. TijmenDeEngeMan does go down up there. One more remaining. It is Noodles. Noodles have a helmet break already. Also, it looks like they just, I don't know how their helmet was broken already, but they swapped it out. They had that leather helmet on for a second. I was gonna say Noodles jumped away, but yblood is right there, and now they're just kind of boxing aside here. You know, I fear this might be the end for Soup Kitchen in game 1. Is the armor off? I don't know, I feel like my screen's bugging. I keep seeing the armor disappear. Regardless, though, Noodles does eventually go down, and then it'll be game 1. So the difference in that game was that you had the bridge kit from the side of Omelet Warriors at the beginning. They use a bridge kit to get both diamond gens. With both diamond gens, cruvex comes in with gear and then just runs everyone over. So solution there if you're Soup Kitchen, right? The map will be different, so it'll play a little differently. But you need to either switch a kit to get there at the same time, or you just need to be quicker, right? You can't let the team you're playing against get both gens from mid and go back and shop, because you're, especially on Java. Like on Bedrock, you can try to get a cheeky knockoff on someone who bought gear. On Java, if you're playing someone who's playing smart and they outgear you that bad, you're not going to be able to knock them off, especially with leap feathers and all that type of thing. So you really don't want to let the team across from you get so much gear at the very beginning of the game. It doesn't work out for you. That's my take, though. Let's see what our second map is going to be. Gonna be royalty. Okay, this is gonna be a lot of the same. Royalty is shorter. Like this one, I say it's even more important. I think if you're Soup Kitchen, you really need to run a bridge kit from someone. Someone on your team has to run blocks. Because the distance, you know, the distance from your base to mid on royalty is very small. Like the bridge kit team is gonna get there significantly earlier, and they're gonna be able to take both diamonds again. And you really don't want that to happen. Especially on royalty, where someone's just going to be able to run around you and get to your base, because there are like 5 ways you can bridge from a base to an island on royalty. But here we go. Game 2. I left my scoreboard off for that game, I think. I'll make sure that I turn it back on this game, but it didn't really end up mattering. Someone said update scores. What a genius. Team Blue. Gonna be 1-0, just like all our regular first round games. This is a best of 3. So Omelet Warriors take this game as well. They will move on. Omelet Warriors lose this game. We'll go to a game 3, which would be played on beach, which would be sick. I wish this game was on beach, because I love beach. So my crosshair, it's a lunar client thing that you can make a custom crosshair, and this one I drew it myself. But I mean, it's a heart, right? It's not like a very secretive shape. Like I don't know exactly. Alright, you go to crosshair, and then you can edit your crosshair, and you can draw a custom one. I was on Labby for a little while, but Lunar is kind of dominant in market share in Java Edition clients. I do love Labby too, though. I like their widget system a lot. Real ones remember Labby 1.12 back in the day when it was just a, like, you know, launcher modification. It wasn't its own full client. You know, a bigger trip actually is Calorie Mod. Anyone remember Calorie Mod? I don't know if anyone in here was around for Calorie Mod. People in the game were for sure, though. Does jxhnwick have a jxhnwick skin? Oh, yeah. You can ask Noodles what HN stands for on this skin, because I have no idea. Holy Noodles? Still wearing a Halloween skin on Java. That was a while ago now, wasn't it? Someone knows what I'm talking about. Heck yeah. The auto vote that would take you through the menu. I think there's some clan that does that nowadays too. Alright, again, we're going to be on royalty this game. We were starting in 30 and then cruvex left, so hopefully we'll still be able to start in 30. I don't know what happened to cruvex. Oh, they're back. Good, good. I think Soup Kitchen were hoping cruvex would stay out of the game. Look at all these votes for the proper things. Someone voted for half health. cruvex misclicked half health again. That's funny. But we had 12 other votes for normal, so it's okay. Alright, no kit again on the side of orange. So you're going to see the same thing where I have to fly through this whole big old mid, but you're going to see. That was slow, actually. There was no kit for either side. Royalty is further away from the island than I remember. So this is going to be not as disadvantageous from Soup Kitchen at the beginning because they should be getting to mid. In fact, they get to mid a little earlier. TijmenDeEngeMan's already at mid. Now we're going to see if they fight or if TijmenDeEngeMan just runs. Seems like they're just going to run, which I think is valid because you get the gear. You want to really reverse what happened last game and get the gear for your team instead of losing it. This is Noodles is going to have a little 2v1 going on against jxhnwick and cruvex. And now Stoke, I'm going to say, is here too. Little 2v3 going on. This is a pretty even fight. Now, if Stoke has gaps and Kevin doesn't, it would be bad, but you never know what people are using in their offhand. cruvex comes and finishes that kill, and now it's going to be Pleasedharch getting kind of vibes to the end of the last game, getting 3v1'd in mid. So you have a little bit of gear off the start for Soup Kitchen, right? They got there first. It looks like what they did with their gear is they got the gems. So they're not going to be terribly outgeared at least. But you know, in the short term here, when you're looking against, they have one level 2 damage gen right now, and you're looking at mid, right? There's going to be 2 level 2s. So you're still losing out on gear overall here, although it's not as bad. Like, you're not going to have someone walk into your base with iron armor and completely run you over. But there are a couple people rushing, and this is, was it Kevin who fell off? So I'm just going to say nathqlie over here is going straight for the egg. It's going to be tough to get the egg because I doubt either of you have obby to block in, and maybe not even diamond pickaxes. So I'm not sure what the goal is really, if they're just, it looks like they're just kind of chilling until a teammate comes, but it feels like teammates would be very far away. They do have a diamond pickaxe. So it could be worse. But like, I would be astounded if they had obsidian to block in here. They were waiting, so jxhnwick's coming too. Now the one thing you will notice is all 4 members of Soup Kitchen are here. cruvex is not here, so cruvex is just farming in mid right now, which is something to consider because they're gonna get, if this push fails, cruvex is gonna be easily full iron, diamond sword, 40 diamond pickaxe if they want even. jxhnwick's able to shop, which is big. So they're able to get iron armor. So this will be a real fight then. nathqlie's getting crit out immediately by Noodles. Noodles had one hit there they missed that kind of took out the combo lock. It's still pretty even though. nathqlie gets a few good hits in there, takes out Noodles. jxhnwick gets built up. Has diamond pick. jxhnwick was able to buy obby as well. Not fully blocked in, but it's not going to matter because no one's there. They get the egg. jxhnwick and nathqlie are down here now. Now with the gear advantage, I don't know, because Tijmen has a diamond sword, so that does work. Kevin gets knocked off though. If you're Tijmen, you really want to focus on the leather armors here and see if you can get some, but it does go and does not end up going that way. Noodles is gonna go down soon too because they don't have any armor, right? Tijmen's geared up, but they're the only one. So they want to think about running probably soon. Want to get to mid, somewhere where you're not getting as beat up on. And you see cruvex also going for the block hits does also show up here now, so it's all 4 members. I totally forgot to turn the scoreboard up again. Another quick game. Tijmen's putting up a valiant effort. They're living for a long time. Iron armor on Java goes a long way, but you're getting a little close to the edge. And there you go. Like I said, valiant effort, but in the 4v1, not really going to happen. I'll tell you guys, Omelet Warriors, I love the name, and they're looking like a pretty serious team there. That was very impressive, and that was not against like a team of nons that made it into the tournament. That was against a team who, at the very least, are around. They know what they're doing in competitive. That's what I'll tell you. Up to my score, so it shows as 2-0. Java's obviously a lot quicker than Bedrock is because the team count. So that was the last game in our round of 8. If I can do my math right, that means next round is straight up semifinals. Let me pull this up. Java bracket. No, it looks like our thing lied. It looks like it's round of 16, the first game. So quarterfinals is the next round. So we have Omelet Warriors going on to play Clabs. If you know anything about the Clabs, that's going to be a fun game. Clabs, I believe, won last tournament, and they are one of, if not the best, consistent EggWars teams that we have. So Omelet Warriors put on a good showing today. Competition next round is going to be a little more stiff, so I'm excited for that game. See if I can make that one. The rest of the quarterfinals for Java are Pan against Forgotten Nerds, Happy Hippos Underdogs, and Drones against Chefs. Let me see if I could recommend you guys. See if we are still streaming, because that would be cool. If there's still a Bedrock game going on. There's not. Oh, that's from 7 days ago, though. That was a video. I swear I know what I'm doing here. Okay. I'm going to head out. I appreciate y'all being here. If you want to watch some more gaming, it is Bedrock, but I'm going to paste in the chat over here. We have a concurrent stream right now for a Bedrock game. So, go hop in that one. This game was fun, though. I'm glad I got to see a Java game. See some more Java games.